about to go live, and then you'll get a countdown, and hopefully somebody will say,
goodness she's here.
yes, they'll count you in. You see,
Your
there you go.
translator.
Great, thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at BMet College. We're here in the West Midlands and we're here to talk about the creative sector, the investment into the region, opportunities that might come. That's the plan. This could lead anywhere. So feel free to talk about anything. But if we introduce ourselves first, if you want to pass around this beautiful microphone and introduce yourselves. Thank you very much.
Yes, hi, my name's Ben. I'm the Vice Principal for Quality and Teaching and Learning here at BMet.
I'm Bradley Mearsand. I'm Group Sales and Marketing Director at Lunar Agency, which is a creative and branding agency based in the region.
Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Samina Ali Khan. I work for ITV News Central and I'm delighted to be here.
Good afternoon, I'm Edward Coley. I'm a Delivery Manager at the West Midlands Combined Authority and support our Skills Directorate.
Thank you very much all. So we're going to have some questions from our students that are studying with us, but I thought if we just start with a bit of an overview. So into the West Midlands there is a lot of investment we've just been speaking about that is coming. A lot of production is coming, a lot of new productions being filmed in the West Midlands, and a lot of opportunities for students to train for future opportunities. So in terms of your opinion and your experience, the first question I was going to ask was, what makes the West Midlands distinct creatively? Like, why is investment coming to the West Midlands, and are we capitalising on that strongly enough in this industry, in the creative sector? So if anyone wants to give a go at that one, anyone? What you've seen, your experience? Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
First of all, I have to say it's about time we saw that investment in the West Midlands, because for too long it's either been very south-based or predominantly north-northwest. So it's really good to see that investment here in our region, but equally to promote local talent, which again is understated. Now, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I always think the West Midlands, in fact the Midlands in general, don't fly their own flag enough. It's not that we don't have that talent or that ability, it's just we need to let everyone know. And I'm glad that we're starting to do that. We've got a lot of that now happening. Thank goodness for programmes like Peaky Blinders, which has certainly put the Midlands on the world map. But we've had events here as well, like the Commonwealth Games and, you know, sadly the death of Ozzy Osbourne. But, you know, we are a famous region. We just need to sing about it more.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I think if you look historically, this is probably now a fantastic last 2, 3, 4, 5 years where people have actually started to look at our area and started to put some investment in it. And that's been recognised by the Combined Authority as well. I'm not just saying that, but there is investment both in skills for residents, for young people, for older people, to basically take part in this, because they can actually see now what is actually going on. And it's live, it's visible, it's not necessarily just on the television. It's here, it's everywhere, and it's across the city and it's across the region. And that is fantastic. And the wider benefit that is, because when you start to look at the growth plan, which we have as our raison d'etre, our true north, is about saying, right, we are here. We have a number of priorities that we want to stick to, support and grow. And this is one of them. And it's fantastic. People don't have to go somewhere else. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like you said at the start, I think it's, you know, it's one of those things where you either had to go up to the northwest or predominantly down to London and the southeast, you know, to take part. It's here, and the infrastructure's growing, which is even better. So fantastic.
I was just going to add on to something you said earlier as well. I do think, I don't know if you could talk from my accent, but I'm not from Birmingham originally. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I moved to Birmingham about 10 years ago. And anytime I would tell somebody that I left New York City to live in Birmingham, they'd look at me like I'm crazy. But my line to everybody is always, Birmingham is Britain's Brooklyn. You know, it has this rich, working class heritage. There's a grit and a grind that Brummies have that is nowhere else in the UK. And I am proud to be an adopted Brummie. But Brummies are horrible at waving their flag.
Right.
And
Just wondering where that was going.
Yeah. Please don't come
There was
for
a
me.
pause.
Don't come for me. Don't come for me. It was too much of a dramatic pause. But really bad at their own branding. Birmingham has a branding problem.
Right.
And I think that is one of the key issues here. So we could build this brilliant infrastructure to have all of these production studios and houses. But my concern, I would say, is retention of the talent. So you come here, you work on a show. As soon as that show wraps, they will leave. So what could we do as a community, as a sector, to make sure that that talent stays here, so we could educate the youth of today about all of the incredible opportunities that sit within this sector. But the second their education's finished, are they just going to leave? How do we keep them in the region, living and working?
Yeah, well, I think that's what kind of the growth plan is, isn't it? It's to build this infrastructure here, but also now Silent Witness was filmed here, Peaky Blinders here, and I think there's another 28 planned productions to come into the West Midlands. So it kind of is aligning, and it's really great to see it, because we've always heard about it coming but never seen it, and now we're actually seeing it. So you're almost adding up together, so it's great. Yeah. What about from a college perspective in terms of?
Well, I'll talk about the college spectrum in a minute, but I love the fact that you talked about it being the Brooklyn, because one. Oh no, it's mine. But actually, the college reflects that. We have a significant diversity of students and staff in this college. But actually, if just walking around Birmingham, the different cultures, the foods, the outlooks, and lovely to hear about Peaky Blinders and those things, but there are hidden stories in Birmingham that haven't been told yet, and we see that in terms of when students come to us and there's talent really deep inside them, and they bring their stories and bring those things out. So if we think about the success of things like Peaky Blinders, you think, well, actually there are other stories and other things to be told in Birmingham and the wider West Midlands as well.
Yeah, thank you for that, guys. So we're going to head to a student question. Naomi, let's give you the microphone. In fact, why don't we swap seats? Yeah, let's do that. Come on, you jump in.
Okay.
Now you're on TV presenting. Work experience. Got your question?
Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm a student here. My question is, where are the biggest gaps in the regional talent pipeline right now?
Pass the microphone.
Yeah, I think I would say, kind of building on what I said earlier, those like mid-level roles. So, we're very good at teaching and educating on all of these incredible skills in this sector. But then that senior talent is not staying here. So I think that's a big gap. So it's on that kind of talent retention within the region.
I would say, Naomi, especially for your age range, young people who are coming into the industry, and we get obviously some people who are slightly older journalists who are joining us for the first time. The skills gap we find isn't things that you are already taught, which is how to film, how to edit, how to write even. It's having that context. And I think it's something that Vlad mentioned about having information and learning to maybe develop your own style from that. And I think that's absolutely true, that, we need context for some of the stories we're talking about, because they're not new stories, but they are things that have happened. They've got history. I'm just thinking now, the example I could probably refer to is Gaza and Israel, one of the most recent, probably most divisive stories that we reported on. And of course, the big thing that affected us here in the West Midlands was obviously our police chief, Craig Guilford, going as a result of a decision that was made about Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. A lot of us at the time were talking about it, but we found that some of our younger journalists didn't understand the history. And that is quite simply a little bit of research and knowledge. So if you do that as well as everything else, I think that makes you a more rounded person, but equally gives you that little bit extra for when you come into the industry. So for me, the big skills gap probably is around having background information, but that's an easy fix. That's things like watching television, that's listening to trusted sources of information, and you have the wealth of experience of your own staff, your own tutors here, the people who are teaching you, who can give you a little bit of that information too. So for me, that's one of the big ones.
Thank you, Samina.
On the back of that, Naomi, as a combined authority, we fund skills provision within colleges, 19 plus at the moment, from a range from entry level all the way up to levels 4 or 5, for example. We have and want constant dialogue with each respective sector cluster. That includes employers, people from those respective industries, because that then helps inform curriculum moving forward. We can't do it, and no disrespect to colleges either, but they are an integral part of absolutely everything that goes on in this region. And the better the employer input to that and wider cases, the better the standard of quality of education, skills input comes back to you as students moving forward in this place. And without that, we can't have that. As I've said before, we've got this fantastic infrastructure that's starting to develop. We very much want to listen as part of this as well, to that. And then I think as well, just as an aside, some of the work that I actually do is around something called in-work progression. So we've all got a job, for example, and then it's how we actually progress. And it's the skill set that actually goes within that and how that starts to affect people. Because all of us here either will be or are in a constant state of learning, developing all the time. And that is all part and parcel of it, particularly what you mentioned there about a certain subject matter that's been seriously important across the whole world, for example. And that all starts in the background in that case. So a qualification is a qualification. That's great. It's everything that goes with it as well. It's all the other side. That's what I say.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we talked a little bit about this, didn't we, about half an hour ago. So earlier, and I haven't changed my mind, which is good. But so I think with colleges, often people think it's about us delivering just the skills for the like a career in the TV and media industry, and they think that's quite linear in terms of it's about the techniques of filming and production and all of those kind of things. But actually, there's a deeper level of skill that we need to ensure that we give to students like yourselves and others, which is about that dogged resilience, because it's a difficult industry, but it's also about being constantly motivated, about dealing with like failure and rejection, and just keep coming back, and also things like how you work in teams and groups, and how you're effectively really self-motivated, because it's a fantastic career. There are so many pathways to go in, but what we sometimes find is parents, carers and those that are at home are quite nervous about that, because it doesn't look like a linear route, but what is? So what will actually get you there is to really support your own personal development, so that you can work with people and you can work in teams and you can communicate really well, and that you can be that kind of professional that people really want. Because actually those other skills can be taught alongside it in terms of those technical things, but it's those self-efficacy skills that are really, really important, which kind of speaks to you.
Thank you very much. How was that, Naomi? TV presenter future?
Yeah, that's good. That's all. That's all I have now.
Thank you. I think it's also on that, we've all got a chance here where creatives mentioned in the growth plan, it's not been in there before. We've all, as a collective, need to push the agenda and keep it going and keep the conversation at the front. Now it's there. Do you know what I mean? All of us. So, because we've not had that opportunity before, we've always been banging at a brick wall, and now it's there. Let's keep it going as much as we can. So, thank you for your question.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Them.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Holton, do you want to come and have a go in the hot seat?
It is becoming a hot seat.
It is, yeah. We won't keep too much longer. Holton, take a seat. Have you got your question?
Okay to go.
Go for it.
Hiya, my name is Holton, and my question for you is, if we meet again in 5 years, what would success for the West Midlands TV and film sector look like?
Ooh.
Shall we go for it? No, I was just going to say.
5 years, what would success look like? I think, again, we have this brilliant infrastructure that's being built and is coming here, even spaces like Studio44, which is fantastic. But I think what would be amazing is, you mentioned this earlier about the stories that are here. Birmingham is also one of the most diverse cities in the UK. And there are so many voices that need to be heard. And I think all of those different cultures as well give such layered perspective to, and I'd love to see that come through on screen. I mean, there's also this rich history in music. I know you mentioned Ozzy Osbourne and the birthplace of heavy metal, but also Bhangra, grime. There are so many different subcultures as well, and it's incredible. I'd love to see that on the screen and see more diverse faces and voices, absolutely.
Thank you. I think in 5 years' time, we see all of you as creatives in the industry. That would be a big mark of success. And I do agree with what you said about resilience. We had a chat with this, I did certainly earlier on with the students, and they were saying, have you ever messed up or, live on television? Yes, we have. And we mess up all the time. And it's part of live TV or live broadcasts in general. But it is about picking yourself up and saying, yes, I'm going to carry on because I'm doing the best I can do and I will make something of this. And so having that resilience and equally not paying too much heed to social media because there's always someone there to knock you down. But in 5 years' time, yes, diversity, yes, more of those stories, but equally having an actual base where we're known as a region that is the go-to place, for productions, for looking for talent, for just having an identity that travels, we know, worldwide anyway, but keeping it worldwide and just being, where are you going? I'm going Birmingham. B44. Let's go see what we can find there. That kind of thing. That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. My view on it is that success breeds success. Particularly, so the out there presentation discussion about AI. As it happened, before I came here, I AI'd what creative looks like in the West Midlands region at the moment. So you've got some serious brands here: MasterChef, Mission Impossible. Who knew? I never knew that, but it is. Then you've got all the stuff that's coming out with Silent Witness, Peaky Blinders. So when you look at 5 years' time, and what we are not good at, and it's been mentioned here already, what we are not good at is basically articulating how good we are. But there's other ways of doing it, and the other ways are basically in 5 years' time. So from a TV film thing, how many shows do you have here? And it just trips out. So instead of being 5 or 6, it could be 60 or 20 that are well known on that everybody knows or understands. And I think that's one part of it. I'm also with you. I think because of the diverse richness that we have here, we need to be able to exploit that more, if that's probably the best way of doing it, not taking advantage of people, but taking advantage of other people, the way how we exploit them, and then start to bring that in. So who knows, in another 5 years, the platform's got even bigger. We've got a fantastic landing base for even more work opportunities, because by that stage, you will all be fully skilled and being able, maybe in the industries already, in that case, and being able to carry that on. So you're part of the infrastructure as it stands anyway. So it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm conscious of time, so if we move to the... Go on then, go quick, Ben.
I'll go really quick. I'll speak like this. Okay. So I'll talk from a college perspective really quickly. So actually, all of those things that we've talked about here, there's a knock-on effect to that. And the knock-on effect is that suddenly we start to see people coming into the region for the broader aspects of media. So I would expect to see more students being interested in not just the what you could look at as quite a linear or pure media program, but actually coming into wanting to study music, wanting to study English with their script elements, wanting to look at opportunities in terms of managing different events and things like that, because all of that is some of those knock-on effects. And then in the community, you're seeing other groups, small film groups or poetry groups or all those things, all starting to happen. And it gets that kind of vibe. So there's that constant kind of pull-through, if you like, over the next few years. Is that quick
Thank you
enough,
very much.
hopefully? Thank you.
Holton, a round of applause. Well done, Holton. Okay, just one more then. We'll go with Zakia. If you want to come and take a seat. All this work experience we're getting in one session. Go for it,
Hello,
Zakia.
my name is Zakia, and my question is, what can colleges like BMet do to get people into the industry and develop their skills?
If I answer that first, we have our strategic plan. There's quite a few things that we are doing, and it's similar to what I've said before, but actually it's about that advice and guidance and information to prospective students about the vast amount of employment opportunities and jobs, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera and all of those things. So if you think about all those credits after any kind of TV or film program and how long they are, all those different jobs and all the different things they can go into and linking that. So it's about, and it's also about us making sure we've got multiple entry points for students, because regardless of their age, and also students that maybe didn't enjoy school and didn't get what they needed to get, but actually there's a route into media for that, because that's something that they're really passionate about. And then it's also about communicating that to those to the families as well, so they understand there's a real, genuine, fantastic career in media.
I feel like it's not taken seriously enough.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, yeah.
Do you want to? We'll go down the line this week.
I would say I also don't want to get myself into any trouble, because BMet is a friend of our agency.
Okay,
but I think it's more of a global response to kind of colleges in general. And again, I work from I work at a marketing agency, so I kind of always look at things with that marketing and comms lens. I think colleges are also very safe in terms of their messaging and their artwork on billboards and buses, and it's all quite safe, and it's the same, and it hasn't really changed or moved on since when I was looking at schools. I can tell you how old I am, but it was a long time ago. So I think being a bit bolder with, shouting about the courses that are here, being a bit more daring with the artwork and the messaging, I think might just resonate a bit more with the younger audience as well, and to try to really attract and get, penetrated a different demographic and say, oh, that looks cool, I'm going to give that a go.
I hear it.
Thank you. I think colleges need to be more Mitch, to be honest, because it was, as you said, just a message on pay rise. I know it was just a message, wasn't it, on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
And it made me think back to when we were kids, and we wanted to get into this industry, and it was the same sort of thing. To be honest, there was, I mean, this is going back now to the late 80s, and it was really quite tough. There was a couple of pirate radio stations, and that's how I got into the business. And I say pirate genuinely because that's what they were. So, it was a lot harder in many respects, but it was the same process. You have to, those multiple entrance levels that you say, you are the ones who've got the stories. You have got unique things to say, which is quite unusual as well. And you have ways of saying it, so making a film or doing a small video or anything, and then getting in touch with people direct, building a little bit of that resilience we were talking about, and saying, what about this? This is a great story, I want to tell it. I think there are ways that you can get in. So I know you rely on the colleges, which are great. They are brilliant. They get you in touch with us, and we have days like today. But equally, for your own personal development, to get in with the stories you say, just keep knocking at those doors. And you will get knocked back. I'll tell you now, people will say, no, not interested or whatever. But equally, keep going, because that's how we kept going. You know, there's that old tale, we started by making teas and coffees. We genuinely did, you know. Then maybe you read a bit of traffic and travel news, and then maybe you got a little bit of training. But it soon builds up, and that's the way you get into it, you know. And you have to just be yourself. That's the other thing. You'll be accepted for being yourself. You don't have to have a BBC voice like we all had to develop, you know, or be without your accent. Be unique. Be who you are. But, you know, that's the sort of thing I think you guys can do as young people who are at this college. But equally, you know, rely on your colleges to give you days like today. And I will have a chat with Mitch about you guys coming in to see us working at Central. So that's why I mean, be more Mitch, because it can lead to other things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll change
Be more Mitch.
That's what it stands for.
I would say that there's not a responsibility, but there's quite a lot that you all, as students who are going into the industry, can do between your friends and your parents and your carers, and in that light, those who are looking after you, because they will be seeing what you're doing and how you're actually progressing. And that's probably one of the best adverts for this. Because if you look next door, there's all those pictures on the wall of people, you know, who started off exactly, you see, exactly. Who knows where you are going to go as part of this? Well, it doesn't matter. That's fine. That's great. But the point is that at the end of the day, and those people in there on the walls probably never knew where they're going to end up either. But they have. And that's the thing. And then it can come back, and then you can come back. Mitch will be able to say, right, do you fancy coming along to do a presentation to some students, as you were an ex-student, that kind of stuff. But it works. It actually works. So you're literally becoming role models in your own right. Don't forget that. Do not forget that, because it's very important. You know, they'll all be doing different things, but you'll meet up, say Friday, Saturday, go out, do this thing. You'll be doing all sorts. We've all got friends who are doing completely different things, but we have a common thing. We're friends, and it's really good to see that going forward. So don't forget yourselves in this. Do not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all right for you? Thank you very much. Give a round of applause. Thank you. Do I get my chair back? Hide again. Thank you. Those are our planned questions. Is that professional? I took it out. It was annoying. I don't know how you do it. So who knows what's happening behind there now. No, thank you. I really appreciate your time and insight into your industries. And, you know, maybe some of you don't see it now, but just having this time with someone that's doing the job that you're looking at as an option is so valuable. And just hearing it will have a huge impact, whether you realise it in this second now or not. It really will. Were there any sporadic questions before we close up that anyone wanted to ask from our TV audience? Anyone?
Shall I ask them a question?
Go on then, what did you want to ask?
Do you think there will be like any positive or negative impacts with AI on your sector?
Any positive or negative impact from AI? We've had a bit of a chat today, previous to this live broadcast, about AI and the impact it could have, but are you seeing any now in your industries, positive or negative?
I'm not going to talk about the sector,
Okay.
but I will just say, if you look at history, and this is how I view AI, if you look at history and you think about the Industrial Revolution and the invention of photography, that was potentially going to put all these painters out of business because they were all portrait painters. Now, what happened was it didn't, because those portrait painters became artists. You wouldn't have artists like Monet and those kind of things today, because they had to very quickly change and put their skill, that skill of painting, into something else. And suddenly we have this whole thing around fine art and that we didn't have before the Industrial Revolution. And if you look at photography and how vast photography is, even though it's quite a mechanical process, when you put the human element into that, from documentary to fine art to black and white colour and all these different types of photography, you can see the human element kind of come through, which is that kind of creative spirit. So I think it's dangerous to think that AI will kill all that, because I think it's about the human and creative spirit that applies AI like a tool, like any other tool. And I think if we hold on to that, I think actually it'll be a real benefit in the sector. I'll hand over.
I think from my industry, from a creative agency standpoint, we totally embraced it, and we immediately launched a AI division, and I think that needs to be. Anytime something new happens, there's fear, and people resist it. You put your walls up. What Vlad said earlier, as well about, when the internet first launched, people were scared of that too. But now you can't live your daily life without the internet. So embrace it. Schools, embrace it. Integrate it into curriculum. It's going to be here. It's not going away. It's only getting more advanced as we speak. So just integrate it into your learning and into your job, and it's not going to replace anything. I love the analogy about the painters as well. I'm going to use that too. We'll swap lines, and also be more Mitch. It needs to be on a,
doing well today.
Business card.
There's a hashtag.
We've totally embraced it, and if anything, it's enhancing what we're doing. It's not replacing people. It's improving productivity. It's keeping costs down for clients. So it's a benefit across the board for me.
Great, thank you. I was going to say, we had a lovely phrase given to us by somebody who was an AI expert, who said it's AI plus HI, basically. So you've got to have the human intelligence plus the artificial intelligence. It can't be one or the other. So we're trying to use that. And we are, like everybody else, a little bit wary because we're not sure of what it can do and what it can free us up to do. So it's a learning process. It is, as you say, definitely coming. So we've got to keep going with it. But I am heartened, especially in my role as presenter, because there used to be a character called Max Headroom. Exactly, you don't know who it is. Well, that's I may, I rest my case. You still need to be human, and you have to have humans at the heart of everything we're doing. And I think that is eventually how everything is going. So don't be scared about it. It will work itself out, I'm sure.
So you could use AI to look for max headroom.
Yes. So that's the task.
I agree with what everybody said. As a practical example, so I write, as part of my work, I write specifications, for example. And people at work were going, why don't you use ChatGPT or whatever? We've got one on at work. So for the first time, I thought, well, yeah, I'll try it, because it's all this internet stuff going all over again, just tentatively in this. My mouth nearly dropped on the floor when this thing came out of it, because I thought, my goodness, it would have taken me 3 or 4 days to put that together. No word of a lie. And it's done literally like this. But it isn't what I wanted. And that's why it requires this. And it's all the knowledge that goes into it as well as part of that. But what it was good at doing was actually starting as a starter for 10. Yeah. And that's the implication of that. And that's definitely what you were saying out there. That's what I picked up as part of that. It's an added tool. That's all it is. So, for example, RoboCop and the like will not necessarily be along just yet.
But the cars will.
Thank you guys so much for this. Thank you so much. Samina, I don't know what camera is working, but does that red light mean we're talking to you? Yes, great. So for our YouTube audience, Ben, we're live on YouTube. How great. Thank you for watching. Thank you for our media team, for everyone at the college that's helped bring this to life. Thank you for our students for navigating all this complicated tech and making it all work. But yeah, definitely thank you so much to you for being part of this panel and having this discussion. Big round of applause. Thank you, everybody. And that's it.
Can we just thank Mitch has put a huge amount of effort into bringing all of this together and being quite resilient in terms of any other issues that he's tried to navigate and getting some fantastic speakers as well. So part from BMet.
Hashtag. I'm going to run with that. I'll run with it. Thank you so much. Let's get out of the heat. Yeah.